What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Energized Lifestyle Podcast, the show where we explore ways to improve your health and maintain peak energy, focus, and quality of life as you age. I'm your host, Shayna Lee, and in today's episode, we're diving into a topic that affects every woman, your monthly cycle. More specifically, how to exercise and eat throughout your cycle. So, our energy and hormones are cyclical, meaning it varies week to week. So, our training and nutrition plans should vary as well. Your actual cycle is, on average, for most women, 28 days, so 4 weeks. Your cycle is divided into 4 distinct phases. So, I'll run through those really quickly, but I'm going to go into detail on each one of these, okay? So, the first one, your menstrual phase. So, this is days 1 through 5. It's your period week, okay? Day 1 of your period is day 1 of your 28-day cycle. The second phase is the follicular phase. It runs from day 1 to day 14, overlapping with the fourth phase is your luteal phase. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think everyone pronounces it a little bit different, but the luteal phase is days 15 to 28. So after ovulation, your body prepares for a potential pregnancy and progesterone increases. Okay, now I'm going to put this infographic somewhere on here so you can see kind of the breakdown of the 4 different phases of your menstrual cycle. So each phase brings different hormonal changes, which impact your energy level, strength, mood, and even how your body responds to exercise. You guys, this is why it's so important to track your cycle with an app or a calendar so you not only know when you are starting your period and can be prepared, but also why you feel the way you do and how to care for yourself during each phase, working with your hormone fluctuations and feminine energy instead of trying to, quote, push through and go hard when you just feel like you can't. Personally, I use the app called Flow. It's FLO. And I've been tracking mine for about 7 years or so. And it's really helped me a lot to um, understand, my cravings, my hunger. I'm more tired. I start feeling a little crazy sometimes. And, I check the app and I'm like, oh, okay. So this is why, I need some extra rest during this week, or I need to, increase my, overall food intake. I'm having cravings more often. But also, and we're going to get into this in a little bit more detail, but also how to adjust your training, right? Because I think, and, I primarily work with women, my in-person clients, but a lot of them will be like, "Oh, I'm really trying to push through, but it's my cycle this week." And, we don't really need to push through per se, but rather adjust your training to, again, work alongside with your hormones instead of trying to fight them. Okay. All right, so let's start with phase 1, the menstrual phase. Okay, so period week. Now, during this phase, levels of estrogen and progesterone hormones are at their lowest. So, this is why your energy feels low. We get cramps, bloating, fatigue, the typical PMS symptoms. Now, quick side note about PMS, there are 2 supplements that I swear by that really help to eliminate all of my PMS symptoms. Okay. And so I definitely suggest these 2 to my clients as well. But those are a daily iodine supplement. Okay. It's just a liquid supplement. You drop it in water and you drink it. And castor oil. You can do castor oil packs or just use the castor oil topically over the liver and kind of like on your tummy, like below the belly button area. I just do it at nighttime, dime size amount in each spot. And I'm telling you guys, it has gotten rid of all my PMS symptoms, low back pain, cramps, all of that stuff, okay, is pretty much like 99% gone. So we'll circle back to those later on. Um, but okay, so back to the menstrual phase. So during this time, you're going to feel a little low energy, a lot more tired. So listen to your body. If you feel like you need more rest, then rest. If you feel more energized, then do more. But it's okay to take it easy with your workouts. Okay. You'll actually get better results if you intuitively listen to your body. Now, that's different than listening to your mind. Okay. And I want you to know the difference between uh, being lazy or making excuses and skipping, or really like, hey, I've got the data right here in the app. It's that time of the month, and my body just feels really run down and tired. I need to take it easy, take a rest day, or really just do like a light or mild type of workout. Okay. Um, Low impact workouts are great during this time. So think walking, yoga, stretching, or even swimming. I definitely recommend doing some kind of movement during this first week. There are studies that show continuing to exercise during period week can actually reduce period pain by improving blood flow to the pelvic area. Personally, I always take day one of my period as a rest day. So no working out, and I just get back to it the next day. So in terms of strength training program, um, which from a personal and professional standpoint, everyone should be on regardless of your goals. Um, but you want to dial down the intensity. So I usually have this week assigned as what I call a deload week. You can actually Google the term, but essentially it's where we reduce the weight that you're lifting or that I'm lifting, and we increase the reps for a more moderate effort during the strength training sessions. Okay. Focus on moderate effort strength training sessions, maybe some steady state cardio if I'm feeling up to it, but I do not do any high impact or high energy output exercises at all during this week. And this is also the time that we're going to feel the most tired out of the entire month. Okay. This is the time when you're going to be craving more warm and cozy, comforting, nourishing foods. So, this is not the time to be dieting really strict and eating a lot of raw veggies or salads or juice cleanses. That's just not going to feel really good to your body during this time. And our body really needs warm and nourishing food. So, like easily digestible, like soups and stews. It's important to get a lot of protein, of course, just ongoing. Healthy fats, both of these are gonna help to stabilize your energy levels and your mood. And I recently heard that according to traditional Chinese medicine, that the menstrual phase is considered the quote coldest phase in our cycle. Okay. And when I heard that, I thought about it and I realized like, well, yeah, naturally I have cravings and the desire to eat more like warm, cozy, comforting foods. So it just kind of, you circle back to um just eating more intuitively. You just feel better. I just feel better when I'm eating more, traditional comfort food during that time, okay? And it's totally okay. So listen to that and lean into that, okay? Next up is the follicular phase. So the follicular phase actually overlaps with the menstrual phase. Okay, this is where the body is gearing up for ovulation. Estrogen starts to rise, and with it, your energy levels um, also begin to increase. This is a great time to push yourself a little more in your workouts. You might find that your strength and endurance are improving. High intensity workouts, strength training or interval running can feel much more manageable during this phase. You're likely to experience an increase in energy and your body recovers faster from intense exercise. And it's also a good time to challenge yourself in strength training. So your body is primed to build muscle during this phase as estrogen helps with muscle repair and growth. So, if you've been wanting to hit a new personal best in squats or deadlifts, now is a great time. Also, your mood may stabilize and you'll feel more upbeat due to the rise in estrogen. For myself, I notice this starts for me right at about day 3 or 4. It's almost like a switch is flipped, and I feel like myself again. My strength and energy comes back, and I just feel more mentally sharp almost immediately. And you'll probably notice your body feels stronger, your endurance is higher, and you may have more motivation to tackle a tough workout. When it comes to eating, this is the time when you're going to crave more lighter, fresher foods, and you probably won't have as many carbohydrate cravings unless you're under a lot of stress at work or stressed out in life in general. But just based off of your hormones, you'll crave more lighter, fresher foods. And this is what will feel really good to you during this time and even help you to feel more energized. Okay, so great time for lots of veggies and protein, lighter grains like oats or sweet potato for carbohydrates to give you that slow burning energy. Next up is ovulation. So typically around day 14 of a 28-day cycle, like halfway through, this is when your body is at its most fertile and when estrogen peaks. Okay, this is baby making time and a phase where you have a higher chance of getting pregnant. Testosterone also rises, which can give you a surge in energy and strength. We typically enjoy being more social during this phase. Our mood is usually really stable and really happy, and it can just feel really good. Due to the stable mood, you might notice that your motivation is higher during this phase as well. And because you're feeling your best in terms of mood, strength, and endurance, this is an excellent time to really push your limits here. Okay. So, kind of going harder during that, around that third week. Okay. Throughout the 28 days. So, like week 3. You want to engage in higher intensity cardio, heavy strength training, or any kind of intense activities that you enjoy during this phase. You'll find that you're lifting heavier weights, you're running faster times than usual. Side note, so just keep in mind that while it's a great time to take on challenging workouts, always make sure you're warming up really, really good. Okay. And really, this is all of the time, regardless of what phase you're in your cycle. This is just a super important component of your workout program. I'm really big on injury prevention. So just make sure you're doing solid warm-ups, like a 10-minute, get a good sweat going. All your ligaments, tendons, joints, muscles are super, super warm, okay? Shameless plug. You can join my free online community platform called the Energized Lifestyle Community. I have a ton of free resources, including warm-up routines and stretch routines and recipes, meal guides, even workouts, and so much more. So if you would like to check that out, you can go to members.theenergizedlifestyle.com and you can join free. Okay, so nutrition suggestions during this phase. And we are still talking about the ovulation phase. So according to traditional Chinese medicine, I like these little tips here. This is considered the hot phase. So we can really thrive off of eating cooler foods. So fresh fruits and veggies, salads, smoothies, juices, lighter grains like quinoa and amaranth. This can all feel really good during this phase. And it's really interesting because our calorie needs actually fluctuate with the phases of our cycle. And if we try to stick to the same calorie number every day, it can feel really hard and difficult to stick to because it's not natural. And it can be detrimental to our hormone health, okay? And ultimately our overall health, because there are times when we need to eat more. right? We know that we should probably eat cake less often if we have very specific health and fitness or weight loss goals. Um, but eating intuitively is I'm more hungry, I need more energy, or if you have a craving for something, have a little bit of that thing and then just get right back on track. Hormones can be a factor that affect appetite, but also other things like exercise and sleep and stress can affect this. But of course, again, listen to your body. And the more you practice listening to your body for your nutrition, the better you get at doing so. In general, I don't normally recommend in counting calories. Um, However, there are definitely situations that it's useful to establish a nutritional base, mostly to make sure that we're hitting your daily protein needs. But other than that, you don't want to just focus really on calories. You want to really get in tune with your body and figuring out what you actually need. Um, okay, finally, we come to the luteal phase. This is the second half of your cycle where progesterone rises and estrogen drops. This is the phase that can sometimes bring challenges. So, for many women, swings and bloating and fatigue and PMS symptoms, the premenstrual symptoms, kick in if your hormones are imbalanced, which unfortunately is most of us. However, the iodine and the castor oil helps with that. Okay, along with a lot of other things, right? Drink your water, get good sleep, practice stress management practices. Um, the luteal phase is typically when the energy levels start to drop, right? Energy feels a little bit lower. You might experience fatigue or feel more prone to emotional swings. And you want to focus on low to moderate intensity workouts like steady state cardio or um, definitely include strength training, but be mindful of your energy levels. As I mentioned during the menstrual phase, I talked about a deload week, and deload week will actually begin during the end of the luteal phase, sort of overlapping into the beginning of the menstrual phase. Okay, like when I'm doing programming for myself or clients, this is kind of how I look at, I sort of zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Um, so the deload week sort of overlaps there. Um, and remember, day one of menstruation is back to the beginning of your 28-day cycle. So, um, your deload week, this could include switching to some body weight exercises, even some resistance band workouts. These options can still be very effective without being too taxing on the body. During the luteal phase, it's normal to feel more tired or sluggish as that energy levels, start to come back down. And you'll also notice your appetite increasing due to the hormonal shifts. And PMS symptoms like bloating, headaches, etc., make it harder to stay motivated. However, don't be too hard on yourself. If you need to rest more or take it easy with workouts, again, remember our goal is to work alongside our biology, not against it, okay? The luteal phase can also be a great time to give yourself some grace, okay? Eat more, rest more, add in some stress relief practices like meditation or prayer or breath work to your routine, as they can help manage the emotional fluctuations as well. So, there you have it. Your menstrual cycle and exercise don't have to be at odds with each other. By tuning into the different phases and adjusting your workouts accordingly, you can optimize your workouts and your well-being. Remember, your body is unique, so experiment with what feels best for you. If you're not already, start tracking your cycle so you know exactly where you're at in your cycle and how to care for yourself during that time. Adjust your routine based on how you feel and always prioritize rest and recovery when needed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and feel free to share this with anyone who could benefit from understanding how to sync their fitness with their cycle. We'll see you next time. Ciao.